Hi everybody, Ali Akbarian, your resident road safety expert, back again with another Q&A. Thank you very much for sending in those questions. We love those questions, keep them coming. And like I say, with my trusty subscribe pillow, which is now starting to get pretty old and dirty, which I'd like to renew, please hit that button that's down there that looks a bit like this. And we'd love your support to get to that 1,000 subscribers, and then we'll get a new pillow or something different. Anyway, on to today's question. So we're in front of a car, in front of our Volkswagen van, because this is a question around traveling in the front seat of vehicles for smaller children or disabled passengers and so on. And the question is around, vans and utes and basically traveling in the front seat. So the question is, I have a child in a child restraint, and this is similar to a disability restraint as well, so this kind of crosses over to both. And we only have a single row of seats, so I've only got like the front seat in my car, so I actually don't have any seats in the back. So if you see here, there's no seats in the back, right? Just the front seats. And I have this child, and my child needs to sit in this restraint, either in a disability restraint or in a standard off-the-shelf commercially available restraint. And I'm really concerned about the airbag, because I've looked at the guidelines and it says you shouldn't put children in front of the airbags. So I want to get my airbag disconnected. Can I disconnect my airbag if I've got a child in the front seat? And that's basically the question. So the long and short of it is no. You can't disconnect your airbag. Under no circumstances can you disconnect your airbag. When I say no circumstances, I'm talking about normal everyday circumstances. You can always have very specialized circumstances due to very specialized situations, and you can always write to the government and try and get exemptions and things like that. But we're talking about general run-of-the-mill everyday use, also within the disability community, general run-of-the-mill everyday use. Sitting in the front is not ideal, and we have videos in our previous videos, and you can look them up, just type in rear front seats and so on, or we can even put some links below, basically to say that the front seat is not suitable for children, and it's not suitable for people that are not as strong in their body. And why is it not suitable? Because there is an airbag there that goes off and it can cause some pretty serious injuries to people. Now, then it's naturally understandable then why people would then go, well then, okay, why don't I then disconnect my airbag if you're telling me that the airbag is going to cause injury to my occupant? The reason why you can't disconnect the airbag is because the airbag, whilst we said it causes injury to the occupant, it causes less injury to the occupant as compared to no airbag. So safety features in vehicles, the way they come about is by improving the setup in the vehicle. So no airbag. Go back, 30, 40 years, we didn't have airbags, and now we've got them. So why? Because they're safer. So removing the airbag is much worse for the child than, having it there. Because you actually have the situation, in this case, you've got a very hard surface of a dashboard. And I can tell you, you probably haven't been behind the scenes because, as an engineer, I have, working in design, but maybe you're not in vehicle design, so you might not be able to see that. But what I can explain to you is, behind here, right, there are big steel metal tubes that is a big metal frame. And this dashboard bolts onto the metal frame. So the dashboard is plastic. So if you were to not have that metal frame behind it, when you touch the dashboard, it would be flipping all over the place. It wouldn't be, it's not a solid item, a dashboard. It feels solid because it's mounted onto a substantial metal frame sitting underneath it, right? So you've got a hard surface of a dashboard and you've got a metal frame underneath. If you impact that surface, you are far worse off than if you were to impact an airbag, right? So that's much worse than the airbag. So don't disconnect the airbag because that's worse. The airbag is not good. In general, like I've said in my other videos, it's the front seat that's not good. It's not about the airbag, or it's not about the dashboard or disconnecting. It's about don't put your kid in the front. That's basically the bottom line. And when I say kid, we're also talking about the disabled passengers who are not as strong in their bodies as well, and often their body presents like a child's body. So whilst it's allowable in a single row vehicle, it's not recommended, and the airbag cannot be disconnected. So then what do I do if that's my only option, right? If it's my only option, then basically the only real choice I have is to make sure my front seat is pushed all the way as far back as possible, so I avoid the possibility of a massive impact of the airbag onto the child's body, right? And that's the best you can do. Like we said, that is what I consider second best as per our best practice guidelines. The best is actually putting a seat in the back, but like I said, there are some people that just can't do that, so if you are going to put them in the front, ideally push them back, but never ever disconnect an airbag. And the last thing, to be honest, actually the last thing I didn't mention is it's actually illegal to disconnect an airbag, so don't do it anyway. So yeah, hopefully that helps with that question. Thank you very much for tuning in. As we say, as always, hit that subscribe button down there, keep those questions coming, and we'll see you next time.